And we're back with Barstools and Bandtalk with our new friend, Gus. We can call him Gus now. Gus Scott.
Barstools and Bandtalk. Come on, son. Bring it on now.
Yeah. So before we left, we were talking about Trixter. You said now Trixter debuted in 1990. I guess the end of it kind of worked towards 95, which is really longer than a lot of the bands at that time made out, because 93, 94, their band was just killing everything and that whole sound. So it's good for you guys to go a whole another year beyond that. So between 95 till Trixter reformed, and we're going to talk about that in a second too, what was Gus Scott up to?
1995, I bought a house with a young lady. We ended up getting married. My whole life changed. I pretty much quit rock and roll. I cut my hair and started a family. I really thought about it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. There was an indoor amusement park in my old hometown of Paramus, New Jersey. And they were looking for a sales guy, and then they were looking for a marketing guy. So I walked in and I said, I'll take both those jobs. They really did. And they knew who I was from the band, but they said, what do you really think you could do here? You know? And after long talks, and I don't know, year one, they started me with a small salary with a nice incentive program for earning. And I think they started me like 30, 35 grand. And by year three, I was making 120. So I was very, you know, but the fact of the matter is what I learned in rock and roll, what I learned behind the scenes at Mechanic MCA were some basic principles, global marketing. I was able to apply those techniques in a regional sense and apply them to business, you know, even a local business. And it proved to be pretty effective. And then I did it again at a place called New Rock City in New York, a big entertainment complex. Did it again with the Dave & Buster's Corporation for 3 years. So I pretty much made a system, or I had a standard operating procedure of revenue generation and what it takes to do that. And I even ended up buying my own restaurant in upstate New York, and did the same thing. I can't cook, you know. I had ideas, but I wasn't a chef guy. But I could walk into a box and I could say, I can determine how many people are coming here. I can determine how much they're spending. What would it take to get them to come more often, spend more money, bring their friends, and you know, maybe refine operations and find an X factor for this place and capitalize on it. So those are really the only ways you can do it. There's only 5 ways of generating revenue. And I guess I'm pretty passionate about that. And I think that finding something, applying those principles to a thing that I like to do is the key. I think that's really the key to life for anybody. You know, take what you're strong at doing and put yourself in a situation where you like to do it, you know. And maybe that's more difficult for some people. It's difficult for me too to find that thing that makes me happy. Like, it's funny, someone said, oh, my friend bought a powder coating business. She's making $1 million a year. That's awesome. Do you know how much I don't want to get out of bed to go powder coat something? You know what I mean? I don't. Now, some guy, I'm not knocking the guy. I mean, the guy's making a great living. He got a great business. God bless you, you know. But it's not for me. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you, money doesn't necessarily drive me. That is not the biggest incentive to me. You know, I got to get out of bed for something more than just making a buck. Right. So I don't know. You know, anyway. As far as that time period goes, after all that, then I went through separation, divorce, and all that, but brought up 3 wonderful children, Brandon, Cassie, and Lauren, really good kids, and love them very much. And, you know, it's funny, I never really saw myself being a family guy. And for a long time, you know, bringing the kids up, you know, it was, it's the weirdest thing to prioritize someone else aside from yourself. And when I had my first daughter, and you know, you take them home from the hospital that first day, you're strapping them in the car seat, you look at your partner, you go, shit, we gotta take care of her now. It's like, fuck, they're letting us take her home. You know?
I said the same thing. Really?
That's what it was like. We put them in, we felt like we were getting away with something. It was like, oh shit, yeah. It was.
They don't even know who we are.
The dynamic of living your life, you know, with the mindset that, you know, have to do it for them, not for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was a big thing, and I embraced that, and I didn't know how I would, you know, I never really thought about it. I never saw myself in that role to that extent, you know, but man, did it for a long time, and got 3 beautiful children. It's really awesome. But yeah, then divorce bullshit, cocksucking bullfuck, and moved to Phoenix. And I got to tell you, Phoenix is the best boon I've ever made.
Is that
So
right?
my kids are older now; they're doing quite well. And now I'm actually starting to enjoy life. I was very unhappy for that stretch of time that I was married. Well, for a majority of the marriage, it was pretty shitty. And to have 3 little ones and be the sole breadwinner, you're in a hell of a position right there. So you either, you know, some hard choices to be made. I stayed in there for a long time. Nevertheless, you know, after kids get older, they're not around, they don't need to hang out with daddy all the time. And you know, I guess a year and a half into divorce court with no end in sight, I was like, you know what? Pete Lauren from Trixter, he was nagging me for 10 years. He said, dude, you got to get out to Phoenix. You got to check this out. Come on. He goes, I got to go. Yeah. And I couldn't because I had kids and all that, you know, so I couldn't happen. But when the time came, I said, dude, coming out. I mean, first day of my exploratory, you know, thing of Phoenix, I went to IHOP, got breakfast. Went outside, saw someone, I said, let's go over there. 40 minutes later, I said, I'm fucking moving. And I did. So, I mean, it was just like, what the fuck am I doing in fucking New York? Screw that, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't tell you how every week I have a family of people out here that it is a second life. It is a gift from God that I can't even believe it. It is that much fun. People that hang with us continually want to hang with us because it is so much fucking fun. You know, it's crazy when we roll into a joint. I can't even describe it. I mean, the times that we spend together are in fact the best times, and it's something very, very special. I look forward to seeing my brothers out here every day. You know, well, every week we spend a lot of time together. And, it's something very special.
Wow.
So when I was reading that article that we started with, and there was a piece about you doing the whole motivational speaking thing, and I'm so getting that right now. It's
I
funny
wanted to buy your fucking tape. I was like, I want to know about these 5 million revenues. I'm in.
Maybe I got to make one of those home tape things. You know, dude.
Maybe
I
you
started
just
doing
order.
that stuff a long time ago. It's funny. I remember the first person that asked me was a young lady who I'm still friends with, Ann. She's a sweetheart. She was going to school in Colorado, and she asked me to come out to. She had this music class, and they had guest speakers from time to time. She asked me, and I forget what the college was, but what a sweetheart. She, I remember doing it. I just spoke, you know, from a different perspective. I was only 24 at the time, you know, but I had a lot of experience, I guess. And I think there's a lot of things a classroom can teach you, and I think there's a lot of things a classroom cannot even attempt to touch upon. Not just rules, but to think about a certain situation. What's it like that? You don't take a college course on how to run a rock show, how to take it on the road, how to manage your expenses, how to ascertain what your break-even point is going to be, and you know, things like that. So there's a lot to consider. Also, like the things I was talking about when I, you know, went from this indoor amusement park in Paramus to upstate New York to Dave & Buster's, things like that. You know, I want to make this an infomercial, but realistically, there's only 5 ways of generating revenue. You can expand your client base, increase the frequency of guests. You have to increase your average invoice size or expenditures. You got to refine your operation. So if your merry-go-round only holds 50 people and rotates once every minute, you better find a way to put 52 motherfuckers on there and rotate it every 55 seconds, you know? And then 5, you got to find out what your X factor is and capitalize on that. You know, making, you know, everything we all do, this show is something special. And if you really capitalize on what is special about this show, it's going to have a reaction. And if you do it coupled with the other 4 things, you're going to have a success. You're going to be on top. So that's pretty much the mentality I take, no matter where I go. You know, if I can really have, if I have a strong plan to back up each one of those items, that's how you go in and knock the shit out of something. So when I go in, I get results fast. I don't fuck around because I know what I'm targeting. And you know what? You got to dig the gig, man. You got, you know, that I can't just buy a powder. I mean, I guess I could buy a powder coat company, like I said, and walk in and say, yes, we need to do this. We need to do this. Okay, I'll tell you. I don't want to just do that. I want to be like when I bought my restaurant. I know I could dig it. I dug the gig. I love the people having fun. And man, when I did shots for the bars, rock and roll, we had the best fucking time. You know how I grew the bar crowd at that place. The average bar customer drops a lot more coin than the average regular dining room guest. So we have. If I'm not having fun, I'm getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I can't. Yeah, that's just the way I live.
Well, and it's interesting that you mentioned that because you get so many people and you got friends that are like, oh my God, this guy's a millionaire. Well, you said the powder coated company. But man, if you would rather not do that and stay in bed, what's the point? I mean, there's tons of ways to make money legally. And if you're not enjoying how you're doing it, who cares? Like you can make $1 million and hate what you're doing. It's just ridiculous.
Cheers to that, my friend.
Right?
It's true. It's really true. And you know what, dude? I've made millions of dollars and I've spent millions of dollars, and money's a funny thing. It's really funny. Also, when you have money, once you spend it, you ain't got it no more. Yeah. So you got to keep that sort of thing in mind.
Yeah.
It sounds silly, but it's fucking true. Like, I'm involved in a project now. I got to put some substantial money into it. I'll be, collecting from investors as well. But it's the dedication, what you do with it, to breed a result. And you got to dig what you're doing. At least for me, that's the real incentive.
Brother, I'm buying whatever the fuck you're selling. I'm buying. I'm telling you right now. That's what I can say right now. Like,
I got a powder coat company for you.
Except for that, fuck powder coat companies.
So the project that you're talking about, Dan, I'm guessing it's the vodka company that you sent me the video on, and why don't you talk about that? Because it's really funny. Before I went on, I was Googling some different things, and Joey Kramer that used to play in Aerosmith, that sex, drugs, and rock and roll, has a coffee company now, and Nikki Sixx is putting a children's book out in the New York. Like, what's going on? But vodka.
Paltrow has a candle that smells like her vagina. Who knew, right?
Oh well, we went there.
I didn't.
Yeah. But talk about your vodka company, because it's interesting what your plan is for it. I don't want to. You go. You tell us.
Well, for those that don't know, I am launching a new vodka line called American Premium Vodka. And this touches upon what we were just talking about. I didn't do it just to launch a vodka. It's the brand. I truly believe that I thought of the idea 5 years ago, and I sat on it. I really didn't do it. I had a commercial in mind. I had the song. I had the pitch. I had it all knocked out. Even had the supplier. Had everything ready to go. The time now for America, we are a very interesting spot where I don't think anybody really ever saw us going, where there's such a huge divide between the country. And it's just about 50-50, I think. It sure is a very strange place that we're in, where the word American is almost a dirty word. That disgusts me. I am fucking furious at the idea that someone could say that America isn't, not wear it with pride. And maybe with some may say that the administration at hand or something like that, whether it's one side of the aisle or the other, that they don't have belief or they don't have pride. That's sad. It's really sad. No matter what side of the aisle you want to stand on. The fact that someone could be within this country and not be happy, that's the saddest thing of all. And I feel the brand of American Premium Vodka is an ideal that hopefully, I'm not going to say I'm going to make America come back together, but it's certainly a step in the right direction. I think it's not the kind of thing where everything media driven tends to divide what's going on in America instead of bringing it back together. It's like they're making a business out of dividing America. And I feel that is inexcusable. And Sony needs to combat it in some fashion. And I think American Premium Vodka stands for something that will join people back together and believing in America again. And I will be the president of American Premium Vodka, and I will lead the charge around this country to just make that happen.
Or the president of the United States.
No, I'm going to be the president of American Premium Vodka. Did I
think
say America, United States? No.
no.
Here, look. That's the logo. Can you see that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what?
Oh, wicked.
I
We the
posted
people, baby.
I
Love it.
posted it on our page. I posted it on our page today.
yeah?
And I posted the video. I asked you if it was okay. You said it was okay.
Sure.
I think it's very well done. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get this some of that up in our parts of the world here. North of the border.
If not, we'll send you my mailing address. You can just send it to me, and I'll share.
No, believe me, I appreciate it. I'll hook you guys up. Be my pleasure. Absolutely.
Well,
But yeah, it really won't release until February. I'm looking at a President's Week release, most likely. That'll be it.
I will drink. I will drink Factory Seconds if you like. That's not a problem.
There's no second. Dude, let me tell you something. Right now, I've got, I just took a trip to Idaho and toured the distillery for the makers who make the #1 potato vodka, gluten-free,
Yeah.
made from the best American elements you can get. And man, stellar. I'm not just saying it because it's mine. I'm saying because it really, really is. I could get cheaper swill. I really could. Won't do it. So there's some real. I'm going to be really proud on the day that this really releases.
That's
That
awesome.
people get to try it. There will be a launch party in every major city. I will go on tour and I will promote this vodka and I will promote America. And we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. I promise you that.
That's so awesome.
Mhm.
well, and I will, and I will
I might
say,
even sponsor Rocklahoma. We'll see how it goes.
well, that'll be. And you know what? We'll definitely stay in touch, and when the launch happens, we'll definitely get you on there. And it's funny. So you've been in Phoenix how long?
6 years.
6 years. I'm still getting the Jersey swagger, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't shake it, man. I don't know. You know what? I'm having fun. I guess it's certainly a part of me. And people say it a lot out here. I think they can tell. And I think sometimes I do click into that mode. It's just, take the kid out of Jersey, but you can't take the Jersey out of the kid.
Yeah.
And I guess it is part of my personality, but it may not be necessarily apropos for, for a character makeup of the president of American Premium Vodka. So, but again, you know what, man? I have a lot of people that hate me. I have a lot of people that love me. I'm very fortunate all the way around. I would certainly never want that to be a tarnish on a brand that I represent.
No.
So we'll have to see. Maybe I'll just shut up more.
Well, straight up.
That's no fucking fun. Who are you kidding?
Well, I'll tell you right now, Sean and Dave love you, brother, and we love everything that you've represented for everything you said so far. This has been an amazing interview. Like I said, we've learned a lot about you. I learned a lot about music. Learned a lot about America. Like, and just it's too bad to see the divide. It's really exciting for us to hear that there's folks like you who want to bring everybody back together through, whether it be through a product or through an ideal or whatever the case may be. But okay, let's we're getting towards the end of our time here now. Let's talk about this. What is, I guess, we know what's going on with the vodka company, but what else is next for Mark Gus Scott?
Well, I'll be honest with you. American Premium Vodka is #1 priority on my list.
Right.
And I will be driving that brand, particularly with early next year, just after New Year's. I will be launching a very strong blitz, a campaign to make people vote for the vodka. And it's going to be amazing. The real thing is this, it is an American campaign in the sense that particularly, maybe you guys can agree or disagree, you tell me. When have you ever noticed in history that we've lost our Purple Mountains majesty, that we lost what is great about this country, and that media drives and dwells upon the negative aspects of life and really capitalizes on that? They purposely put one side against the other, and it makes such a shit show. I believe the brand American Premium Vodka will do the exact opposite of that. And to give you an example, with every bottle sold, $1 goes to the American Legion to support our American heroes, our veterans.
Cool.
So this will be a brand that that I'm looking to gain the endorsement of the American Legion. And I want that logo right on my bottle. And I will be donating $1 of every bottle to the American Legion to support American veterans. And I'm a member of the Legion as well. So when I tell you that I will be touring the country with this, I will be touring the country with this, because right now I have 2 million brothers as a base for my product, number one, and they have 12,000 locations throughout the U.S. May not be able to hit them all, but I'm gonna fucking hit a lot.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a lot of fun doing it, my friend. I will launch this motherfucking brand, and America is gonna be back where it ought to be. That's what I'm talking about.
No, that's awesome. And I wanna say, you know, you like from the time I first contacted you, you got back to me within 20 minutes. We had a great couple conversations. Very glad that I met you. Can we do something a little bit fun? I always like to do this with our American friends.
Can't do it. Time's up. Gotta go. Bye.
Okay. So we're always impressed when our friends south of the border are dialed into Canadian music. So if we throw a couple of questions at you about Canadian music, well, I would say, are you familiar with any Canadian music?
Yes.
Okay, besides Rush, besides Triumph, guys like that.
Alanis Morissette.
Okay. So when you were growing up, you were learning how to play. Was there any Canadian bands that you might have been in tune to? Or
Kidding aside, Rush and Triumph are two right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Funny thing, dude, last night, I'm not even kidding with you. We had a big discussion. I'll tell you a funny Triumph story too. But did a show with Rick Emmett. Triumph was a big influence. Magic Power was one of my favorite songs of all time. And we were in a bar last night for my buddy's birthday, and we were cranking that song. And my buddy's a singer, and he sings really well. My buddy Bobby Sisk, Drop Diesel, yo.
He's a buddy of mine.
He was singing along, and he sounded just like Rick Emmett. I'm like, I started to cry. I'm like, yes, you know. But dude, that Allied Forces record, I freaking nailed that sucker in the basement like a son of a bitch. You know, yeah, that was a big influence on me. The funny Triumph story. It's our first tour bus. We're down in Florida, I think, for the first time. I think we're at a Perkins, either a Shoney's or a Perkins, maybe a Shoney's. Wait to get seated or something. Some guy comes up behind us, goes, "Hey, is that your bus outside?" He's got long hair, his long beard and a mustache, shades on. I go, yeah. He goes, "Oh, what's the matter? Trixter. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I used to be in a band also. Oh, yeah, what band? Triumph." He was down in Florida. I guess he had a home down there or something. Yeah. And he tapped us on the shoulder. And, you know, once he said it, I looked at him. I said, "Oh, my God, you're the guy with the fuck." It was him.
Mike Levine. Yeah,
Mike Levine, exactly correct. Yeah. And he was the nicest guy. But how arbitrary. He's standing in Florida, one of the most southern states. He's a Canadian guy. He was like, I'm sure. I was like, what? You know, it's just so weird. And we were new to the game too. It was like our first run. And I just remember that. I told that story last night too while we were listening to the song. But man, I mean, yeah, so number one, Triumph. That was first. Rush came later. I think every drummer goes through their Neil Peart phase. Yep. So yeah, between Spirit of the Radio and Moving Pictures was a something I knew the whole damn record. Yeah. You know, trying to just nail each part. It was the challenge, and playing cleanly. You know, I think that's one thing that Peart really taught me. You know, it's not just playing boo boo boo. It's making every note count. You know, make cleanliness, opening your strokes. And I see so many guys play like shit because they just don't freaking articulate. They do not know how to create separation. Anyway, going through a Peart phase and coveting that music. And then, funny thing, we got James Jimbo Barton to produce our second record. He did the Power Windows record with Rush. Oh, right. So, I mean, it's freaking amazing, you know? Trying to think who else from Canada. I'm probably forgetting someone that I just can't remember. I can't really say Celine Dion's influence, but I think she's awesome. Yeah. I don't know who else from Canada. Give me some names. I'll be honest with you, but I can't say those are just the first two that come to mind. That's funny. You said those are the two. It's like those are the two. Well, when you're a hair metal guy, those are the two bands you fucking know.
Yeah.
There's April Wine. There'd be.
April Wine was the first concert I ever saw. They were opening for Foreigner 4 tour. So I remember seeing them. That was the first rock band I ever saw in concert.
There you go.
Well, and shout out to Miles Goodwin that gave me a couple of really nice compliments there at our show that we opened there a few weeks ago. So
who was that?
Miles Goodwin, lead singer for April Wine. Miles Goodwin,
guitar player. Yeah,
he lives in our neck of the woods, and he's still going strong at I don't know, the ripe old age of 65 above.
65 American. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
God bless.
But, no, and it's funny, right? Because we as Canadians, Gus, we when Americans acknowledge something about us, we go like, I can remember the episode of Friends where they twice mentioned Nova Scotia, and we're all like, no, the references were all friggin' wrong as hell. But hey, we got her doing. It's like those people south of the border know who we are up here. It's just the way we operate, right? We're nice people that say a lot.
We played Canada a bunch. I know that.
Yeah.
I remember our first show when we joined the Striper tour, the first real band we opened for that asked us to tour with them. It was at Rock and Roll Heaven, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Toronto.
Yeah.
And then we played all over the place. We were very, very fortunate. But Canada, yeah, sure, we played the crap out of Canada. Oh, got in trouble at Maple Leaf Gardens. Yeah, that was fun.
Well, brother, we want to be respectful of your time. I'm sure looking forward to trying the American premium.
Might have to make a Canadian version.
Yeah. Hey.
Maybe it was Canadian wheat. I tried some Canadian wheat last week.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Damn good. I got to tell you, it's pretty damn good. So you never know.
That's a rye whiskey there, but yeah, it's whether it's like you are such an inspiration for us, like just to keep on going, and you in the belief that here's the thing you talk about. It's like being a musician, and Sean and I get it. We've done the same thing, no, not to the same level you have at 33,000 arenas, but you know what? It's the stuff you learn on the road. You can't teach that in a school. You can't teach that kind of commitment. You don't know how to run out of a club, get your money, and get your gear before it's taken away. You got to learn how to do security. You got to learn how to load, all that gear physically. You need to learn to outsmart, the bad agents versus the good agents. So that's the kind of thing you can't learn. You catch your money or get your money and run. Yeah, they're life lessons that you can't learn, but you've obviously implemented them in everything that you've done, and we can see that in what you're going to be doing in the future. So thanks for coming on.
The honor is mine. Thanks for having me, guys. And hopefully it won't be the last time. We'll have to have more fun.
No,
absolutely.
No, we will have more fun, and we're going to get you on when you do the launch. And you and I are going to stay in touch because
Don, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, it's I feel like I met my brother from a different mother here in this conversation. 100%. Yeah, right on. Thanks, Mark.
Absolute pleasure, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, brother.
Don, thanks.
Mark Gus Scott, sure appreciate it. Peace out.
Barstools Bandtalk, the complete music bucket list.